Explaining entertainment, keeping you ahead of the culture curve. It's a slogan we say very often here on the WDW Pro Channel, but what does it mean? Well, in part it means that we try to get you ahead of what the news will be, and sometimes we're ahead by about a year. That's what's happening today, as Disney's biggest competitor, Universal Studios, is putting their flag down in the soil of Europe. If you've been following this channel, we've talked about this since, well, January. And now, finally, it is being confirmed through a leak that the co-anchor of that park place, Vash Sky, has unearthed for all of us. Let's dive into what this means and how much Disney should be worried that Universal is taking aim at them across the pond. Hello folks, welcome back to the WDW Pro Channel. It is, as always, a joy to do this, and it's a joy because you join us. You're the electricity. Vash Sky and I are just happy to be the conduits for you. Vash, welcome back to the channel.
Thank you so much for having me on there, Pro. Very excited to talk about all of Universal's plans in Europe, of all places.
That's right. Now, folks, to give you some context to what's going on here, we covered this a very, very long time ago in a number of ways. You can see here this article on That Park Place. This was by Pamela Fitzgerald and is all the way back from February. WDW Pro's exclusive leak about Universal Studios Europe seems confirmed. Now, that means the leak goes back before February because this is when it was reported that it looked like it was being confirmed. And so Universal Studios Europe is something we've been tracking very closely. Now, Vash, we've actually got something here that you have unearthed. And this is that you believe that Universal Studios is now coming to Spain. It looks like that's true. And I suspect that in the time since we reported on that, when we thought it was coming to Germany, or at least I did, it seems that plans have shifted back to Spain. I'm not sure if that had anything to do with the downtime that we've had due to some of these strikes that have been going on that have been locking IPs, that's intellectual properties, into place where they really couldn't bring out big expansions to domestic parks or international new parks because they couldn't bring the fanfare around those IPs. They needed to wait for these strikes to end. So I don't know if that has had any impact. I don't suspect it has, but walk us through what this document is that we're all looking at right here and why Universal Studios Spain is incoming. And do you think this is Universal Studios Spain or is it Universal Studios Europe? In other words, if it's just Spain, fair enough. If it's just Europe, fair enough. But if it's just Spain, then that does not preclude that there would be more Universal Studios arriving in Europe. So walk us through all of that.
Right. This is all very interesting right here. This comes from Twitter account Parquet, and this is actually part of a thread in which he starts out by saying Universal Studios has been registering almost all of its patents in Spain since the summer. Patents that have been registered in Europe for a long time, even years. Yes, today things are all about patents, and this patent right here, you can actually see it's in Spanish, registered out of Spain. That's this Spanish symbol right up there. And interestingly enough, this is actually a patent for a velocicoaster type attraction for what we would presume to be a theme park in that region. Interestingly enough, people might know that Universal Mediterranean exists, right? Or existed, I should say, as part of Universal's prior ownership, or at least partial ownership, of Port Aventura World. And there's a complicated history there, but eventually Universal was forced to divest its interests from that because of previous ownership and so forth. Well, now under Comcast, in which they want to really ramp up their theme park portfolio around the world, a lot of people have been suggesting that Universal has been making a bid in order to buy back into Port Aventura and restart some of those plans they had for the late 90s and early 2000s.
So Vash, just looking at this document, it says al igual que en velocicoaster, and I think what that is suggesting is that this is literally velocicoaster, and the reason I think that is because when you go to other countries, the ride mechanisms that you have patented in other locations sometimes need an additional patent to protect them in the new country in which you're entering.
Right.
And so it looks to me like, I mean, they can theme it to something else, but it looks to me like they want to make velocicoaster. I don't know why they would try. I mean, it would be expensive to make it be anything else other than Velocicoaster.
Right.
Why would you position this away from that IP? So it looks like that the likelihood that we are not only seeing that Universal Studios Europe is coming, but that also we can now say with some assurance, Jurassic Park, Jurassic World is part of that. Universal Studios Europe and Velocicoaster likely part of that.
Right.
So this is not going to be a small addition, in my opinion. I mean, pulling off Jurassic World is a major endeavor.
Indeed, and you can actually see Velocicoaster. You'll know that it has what is it? It's 2x2, whereas this looks like it's 4 across.
Which would provide greater capacity. Now,
absolutely,
some adjustments might have to be made, but you would definitely want to increase capacity, especially if you're planning on having a big park with big attendance. Now, and the other thing too, Vash, is that Velocicoaster in Orlando had to be squeezed into itty-bitty living space. This might not have to be. I do want to show, though, Vash, of course, we've got Oficina Española de Patentes y Marcas, which is to say the official Spanish patents and marks department. Down here on the titulares, so the title holders, Universal City Studios, LLC. So this is definitely 100% Universal Studios.
Absolutely.
So this. I mean, I don't see any way of looking this other than Universal Studios is coming to Spain. It's definitive, I think, at this point. Is it fair to say this is absolutely confirmed now, barring some sort of catastrophe?
I think so. I mean, Universal has wanted to be in Europe for a long, long time. This even predates their ownership under Comcast, and for them to get back in, and do it next to where Disney was thinking about doing something back in the late '80s, early '90s. Yeah, this is definitely something that they want to adventure in now. Why port Aventura might be of interest here is because, well, according to Theme Park Wizard, he had some interesting information. He was saying that the park was going under a little bit of renovation recently and doing stuff that they haven't done in a couple of decades. And people were kind of citing that Universal had demanded or requested those changes be made in the lead up to their purchase back in the late 1990s, early 2000s. So it's kind of like, ooh, are we seeing history repeat itself? You've already got something that's been earmarked for this. You can necessarily take over this theme park and transform it in a way that really fits a Universal modern park, essentially. But it doesn't stop there, Pro. I'll say this. Maybe Germany is still on the table in some respects. We don't know that for sure. I know they were going back and forth between that and Spain. Spain, I think, is a little bit more ideal just because of the weather. But we understand that there are some maybe economic inhibitors to growth there. I'll say this.
Let me ask you this, Vash, on that same economic question.
Please.
I suspect that a Harry Potter anything inside Spain, inside of Universal Studios there, would draw a vast number of consumers out of the UK. Would you suspect the same? And so then could we easily presume that we know two of the IPs coming to Universal Europe?
Oh, yeah. I would most assuredly say one of them is going to be Jurassic Park, which has been a franchise that they've brought all around the world, including in China, and absolutely has to be the Wizarding World. I would think that is a day one kind of thing there, just like maybe Mario would be in the current context, right?
That way, you would think that Mario would absolutely have to be a part of it as well.
Right.
Okay, continue with your point you were making before I interrupted, please.
Nope, you're all good. If you want to go ahead and share my screen there for a second, Pro, I'll go ahead and show you what some of the other sleuths have come up with
Absolutely.
here. So.
And as you do, Vash, let me say, we've credited Theme Park Wizard, the YouTube channel, already. Folks, if you would like to follow Theme Park Wizard, we've got the link down in the video description. Has done a tremendous job in unearthing some of this with Vash, and I know, Vash, you appear on that channel at times too, and so we're very grateful for Theme Park Wizard having helped us out with figuring out some of this stuff.
Very much so. He's been really keeping his nose to it in a way. Well, we were able to unearth apparently in their most recent filing, I believe that the filing for 2023 hasn't yet been published. We'll see when that actually comes out. But this is the Security Exchange Commission Form 10K as filed by Comcast in 2022. And if we do a little search here, let me just see if I can go ahead and do that. And if we look at their new ventures section, you can see right here on page, I believe it's 442 here, you can see New Ventures Universal. And you can see Texas right there. We know the Texas Park is coming. That's been announced already. New Ventures Vegas. We know that the, Halloween Horror Nights 24/7 operation is going to be placed there. But we can see right here, New Ventures Universal L. What does that mean? A lot of people have surmised that this might actually be the realization of their plans for London specifically.
That could definitely be a possibility. There are many areas around Port Aventura that start with La, as you might suspect. La Canonja, La Pineda, and some other places. And so that could also be where the L is coming from. It's just we don't know yet. I want to show this to you, to the audience as well. This is what Port Aventura looks like in Spain. And you can see it's a rather small park right now. As Ferrari Land. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry about that, folks. Gremlins in the works here. There we go. Got it. Thank you, Vash. And let's close down where we can see better. But you can see that they've got Ferrari Land. They've got Port Aventura World, Wild Buffaloes. This is a park that could definitely be revamped. And look, folks, at all the space that is available to this place. So they have plenty of acreage to have some fun with and develop. We may be looking right down here at the next home of Super Mario. Who knows? Vash, final thoughts on Universal Studios coming to Spain?
Yeah, Port Aventura is ideal. I mean, it's right on the coastline, practically, pretty much. It already gets, I believe, 5 million visitors a year. This is prime for redevelopment under the Universal banner for sure. I think we should be definitely taking a look at this and the surrounding areas. Back in the day, Universal had an ambitious plan of bringing a bunch of hotels here that they can fire up on. I mean, the possibilities in this one area alone is endless. And we know that Universal has ambitions even further than this. You know, somebody said, hey, what did the Disney decade feel like or look like? Honestly, folks, the Disney decade is happening. It's just under Universal this time as they rapidly expand both domestically and internationally.
Vash, I would surprisingly argue that even at Disney's most dominant decade, they did not expand to this degree. I hope Universal expands in wise ways and doesn't overextend themselves. It doesn't seem that they are thus far. It seems like they have they're acting in prudence. But my gosh, are they taking advantage of a very weak Disney? Folks, if you want to know what it looks like when Disney is weak, it looks like competitors outgrowing even what Disney did when they were at their height. Vash, you guys have been doing an awesome job. You and Theme Park Wizard, you also do a fantastic job with That Park Place, the YouTube channel. What do you guys have coming up this week on That Park Place?
Well, we have a live stream tomorrow, and that's pretty regular now, right? Starting at 10 a.m.
Tuesdays, 10 a.m., folks, Eastern Time, every single week over on That Park Place.
That's correct. We have our daily countdown videos that we upload, I believe, 4 times a week now, and long-form discussion videos as well. So you definitely want to go ahead and subscribe to that channel for sure. I know I just recorded with Jonas a couple of things that we have going on the channel. It's going to be some great fun. I know tomorrow we're going to be talking about maybe a lead up to that Disney Town Hall that's supposed to be taking place on that day as well. So tune in for that for sure. And Theme Park Universe, well, we're always breaking stuff down just like this on that channel as well. So definitely subscribe.
You bet. Folks, That Park Place is a partner YouTube channel to this one. We both cover entertainment, of course, but they have a special focus on theme parks and travel. Make sure to check them out. You definitely want to be following their content, as well as www.thatparkplace.com, where John Trent is our new editor-in-chief, and boy, have things taken off there. Oh, yeah. Amazing. The readership increases, and we're so happy that so many of you are enjoying it. We're also rather impressed that John is already finding his way into the mainstream media where they are now citing that park place. It's amazing to watch. Folks, thank you for all you do. Thank you for being a part of this, and thank you for helping us reach 50,000 subscribers in less than a year. It is a milestone that we do not take for granted, not for a single instance. You all are incredible, and we are so grateful for each and every one of you. Folks, if you like content like this, consider clicking the like button, share, subscribe. When you click it, you stick it to the algorithms. It's the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. And, well, once again, folks, we have brought a scoop that has come to fruition here on the channel. We try our very best to get you ahead of that culture curve, and we hope that it's something that you enjoy and appreciate. It is something that we truly appreciate that you keep coming back and letting us do just that. An honor as always. Vash, let's head out with the saying that we always say, wherever you are and whatever you're doing. Keep learning, keep growing. And Vash, how do we end it?
Keep having fun.
Oh.
What are you doing?
Well, you see, I wanted to get some inside scoops on Disney and their different corporations, if you know what I mean. So I figured by looking into this fistbowl and sucking it randomly with my own energy that I pay for, you paid for, I could do the whole experience where you can be a master and spy on your targets.
You're an idiot. If you want to get the inside scoop on Disney, or even other media organizations, you should check out thatparkplace.com and subscribe to WDW Pro's YouTube channel. That'd be way easier, more accurate, and, less dumb.
Are you saying I won't get accurate information this way?
No, you can't.
Who'd have think?